Welcome back to Fractured Shadows. We are a little goofy sometimes. So Fractured Shadows is a little homebrew Daggerheart game. I am the host of the channel and the GM, Shade, also known as PlagueDoctorShade, and here with us, as per usual, our lovely friends Statica, VoodooVixen, and Thorn. Good to have you guys on.
Hello.
Hello. I apologize to the entire state of Nebraska for absolutely nothing.
Well, Nebraska had it coming. What can I tell you? So, before we get started today, a couple of announcements as per usual before we begin. First and foremost, this is a mature Daggerheart experience. This game will include depictions of adult themes such as drug and alcohol use, sexual themes, psychological torments, gore, body horror, and potentially much, much more. If you continue to watch, you have been warned both live and for later down the line on YouTube. Secondly, we do not own anything aside from the sprites and the world that we inhabit. All the music and pictures that we use are either pulled from various sources, such as Pinterest, or games such as Elder Scrolls Online, Elder Scrolls, The Witcher 3, and so on and so forth. And third, but certainly not the least, if you like everything here, if you like the content, the people, the game, the narrative, whatever the case may be, do me a huge favor by dropping a like, dropping a comment, and ringing that bell notification so you never, ever, ever miss an upload. And please do share. So, my friends, are we ready to get started today?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So, last we left off, our band of intrepid heroes followed through on their task to investigate the one forgotten old tomb of Bright Willow Haven deeper within its forest. Once there, they found that it was already being occupied by a familiar group of brigands called the Shadowbark Brigade, the very same brigands they were doing a small investigation into. Deceiving their way through a checkpoint and into the central chamber of the tomb, the party is met with an outstanding audience. Several members of the brigade that they had fought in the tavern days prior, familiar faces they have seen around the Grand Guild Hall, Anissa, the suspicious paladin of Rhyme, and two others they have yet to know of. One of them, a tall, dark-furred faun, introduces himself as Velgrift, while the other, a masked elf, only speaks when certain matters are brought up. Velgrift informs the party of his plan to rid Bright Willow of the corruption that has influenced it via the new council being headed by the once-known adventuring group called the Quicksilvers. In a soft-spoken tone, Velgrift tells the tale of the original Shadowbark Brigade, a group of foolhardy adventurers that would do just about anything for work. With a reputation preceding them, a particular contract involving a necromancer cult in Londor and its completion set this band on a dark path, as one of their members, Velgrift's lover and the mysterious masked elf sister, had died tragically trying to cover their escape. This tragic tale only ends with an oath of vengeance served cold, as Velgrift vowed to make the Quicksilvers pay for their trespasses, not even an acknowledgement of the tragedy thrown towards the Shadowbark's direction from them. In doing so, they also wish to make the one free town of the Golden Plains, Bright Willow Haven, truly free once more, having no quarrel with the Bright Willow family themselves. Marqui is the one that speaks up the most defiantly to Velgrift, not wanting to aid either the brigade or stop them, only wanting to solve the lingering mystery of the curse that plagues Lilith's bloodline and then leave behind the town to whatever fate the brigade has in store. Letting them go, Velgrift warns the party that if they dare interfere with the brigade's plans, his mercy on them will end swiftly. Only one stipulation is mentioned by Marqui, and that is not to attack the tipsy tinkerer and to leave his proprietor, Beatrice Feglarucci, out of the impending confrontation. We now tune back in with our band, having exited the woods proper, making their way back to their current place of operation, the aforementioned Tipsy Tinkerer Tavern. And the floor is yours as you see that the time of day has died down and is slowly drifting into a later afternoon with the sun slowly setting and the stars beginning to show out above you. I change the music to something a bit more fitting. we'll just go with the one that I played last time.
Understood.
So, you all would eventually find your way through the town, back through the courtyard, or rather the town square, and then over behind it, you would find yourselves back at the entrance to the Tipsy Tinker Tavern. Are you guys having any conversations along the way there, or is it relatively quiet through your walk?
Murkon is uncharacteristically quiet on the way back, seeming to be pretty set on having stated that this should be coming up on their last night in Bright Willow.
Indeed, indeed.
Leo is also pretty chill.
Yeah, same. I feel like it's kind of an awkward, uneasy silence.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I have put you back at the Tipsy Tinker Tavern's front entrance as night slowly begins to fall. And the floor is essentially yours. The game is on pause. You can move about as you so see fit.
Yeah. Murkon is pretty he's pretty, familiar with this place. He's just gonna go straight to the door. And he's not like leaving the group behind, but he is he seems more comfortable up to the door. It's probably the most relaxed you've seen him in a while. A lot of the tension kind of leaving him as he seems more, I wouldn't say he's more confident, but he's more sure on what he's doing. So he'll open the door.
You see that the front entrance is uncharacteristically empty.
So Murkon would notice that.
Yes. It is a quiet night as you walk through the streets of Bright Willow Haven, and considering the time of day, you at least would have expected it to be packed a bit more. It's almost as if it fits the mood that everyone is currently in.
Big.
Murkon looks back to the group to see if they can see what he's seeing, how empty it is.
Leo just kind of has a look like, that's curious.
Murkon will venture forth a little more slowly, kind of like peering about before he, now a little less wanting to be away from the group, will get to the door, and more slowly he'll open it. However, he's going to kind of have his ears open, see if he hears anything or if anything moves while he opens the door.
No roll needed. You do not hear anything that sounds out of the ordinary. You hear a little bit of mumbling, but that's much further in. And when you do pass by the outside window that peeks into the actual tavern, you would end up seeing, obviously, Beatrice by the bar, but a familiar, very drunken face.
Margon's kind of turned back to Rayleigh, like, what the... Good? You alright, man? What's going on here?
Bro.
Bro, that's my bubble. He'll come inside and see the familiar faces and walk in with a more relaxed, normal grin. Bit of a quiet night tonight.
Seeing you enter and hearing the door open, Beatrice gives you a smile, while Ogren turns in your direction, holding up a mug of ale and waving in your direction. It's, I think it's an early night tonight. People are getting to work in the morning. Something like that.
Kill timer.
It
Indeed.
is. I'm trying to think of the day. It is.
Walks up to
calendar.
dap him up.
You would need to actually walk in to dap him up.
Thought we did walk in.
You are. I'm on a battle map. You have to be active in the scene.
Kill yourself.
I'm the DM. I'll kill you instead. Watch your tone, MF.
I don't think I will.
All right, so Leonin has a heart attack and dies, using
Hell
all my
yeah!
fear to kill you.
Hell yeah! That honestly should be an option.
What is your problem?
That would be really funny though.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Turns around, fucking cartoon eyes.
yeah, literally just flops dead Family Guy pose.
Hell yeah.
But as you do walk in, noticing that it's oddly vacant with the many candles about the tables, not lit. I'm not changing the lighting. Beatrice has just her normal grin on her face as she's just cleaning one of the mugs. And unfortunately, he is right. It is just more of a quiet evening. Not many people I get, but considering that with things that are going on, with work actually having a proper thing now, especially with the charter, thanks to you, I have no doubt in my mind that they're probably getting busy these days, which is good. But that means it'll just have to be the weekends again instead of normal. So, lack of clients in the evening until the end of the weeks come. She gives a shrug as if nothing has really changed.
Angel falls down to the fireplace.
So, just as a thing, because you guys have made an impact on Bright Willow Haven, a lot of people are getting back to work, especially within the Hunters Charter and the League. And because of the bit that you have done, you have given some work back to the town so that they can actually proceed forth with things that are going on within this little haven. Hence why you also saw the Hunters Charter working with actual hunters and farmers trying to secure some game for some food. Another sign of evidence that you have made a small impact on this community.
Saving Doobie Bright Willow.
Well, our apologies for affecting your work. I'm sure you were much more enjoying some of it, regardless of our first interaction here. He'll make his way up to the bar and bring himself closer to the conversation. Were we interrupting anything else here?
Oh, no, nothing at all. Just Algren being Algren and telling me his many, many sorrows and whatnot. Look, I'm just saying that I missed these guys and I didn't want to bother them because they're doing their own thing, all right? So leave me alone. And he takes a hefty swig of his ale.
Ah, I see. Murkon will kind of give Ogren the elbow, kind of a buddy jab. Don't worry, we won't do anything interesting while you're gone, I promise.
Yeah. At least you're still working though, right? You're not doing anything for free.
Oh, never. More so our own kind of work that we need. Well, while you two are here, I figured that we would talk about maybe something we're planning on doing moving forward. He kind of looks back to the group and notices Akuji and Leonin talking to themselves while Rayleigh makes himself comfy. But I think we might need a quick drink first, just to get ourselves settled.
Of course. What by chance are you interested in having?
Oh, just one of your lighter ales, if possible. I don't need anything too extravagant tonight.
Oh, certainly, darling. Just a gold coin then. 1 crown.
Mercon slides over that coin and looks over to Rayleigh.
He's pulled out a metal thermos filled with
Oh, that's
mushroom
big.
risotto. And he's kind of like sad eating. Like it, normally when he eats the risotto, he's like, he looks so happy, but this time it looks kind of sad.
Oh.
Oh. Mercon looks at the sad eating of the risotto, and then he looks back over to Beatrice, and he just goes, "He's in a bit of a mood tonight."
Beatrice looks over the majority of the group, seeing that both Leo and Akushi are by the fire, and then looks over at Rayleigh being, typical Rayleigh at this point. I mean, no offense, Mercon, but he is usually like that. It's nothing new.
Oh yeah, just putting it out there
Fair.
while I'm here. So about that ale.
Right,
A
right.
little parched if possible. Maybe a glass of water with it.
Sure, of course, naturally. And she
Thank you,
will
dear.
she will disappear off into the back room for a hot sec. She comes out with a tankard. She moves over to one of the kegs and starts pouring you an ale, and then moves back over. And in one hand, she has a pitcher of water that seems to have a little bit of rime and frost to it, signifying that it is cold. And a couple of empty glasses that she settles down, along with your tankard of ale.
Bless you, darling. And he starts to take his drink. First, the water. He wasn't kidding about being a little thirsty. And then, once he gets a good amount of that, he'll start sipping on the ale here.
Unlike her usual drinks, it is very, very plain. It's much lighter, less sweet, a little bit more bitter. Your typical beer, but it does still taste better than beer that you've had before.
It's always a delight when you bring me something always beyond my expectations. He does continue to take another sip.
Well, it's I try to make it a little bit better than most places. I try to make the both the hops and the barley stand out when I grow them personally, and I always make sure that things are up and up depending on the supply that I have. But a little bit of love in there does go a long way, I'd like to think. She smiles.
Oh, I do taste the love. He looks over to Rayleigh, and will pipe up. First drink's on me if you want one.
His ears were drooping, but they do like perk up at that. If you insist, then I suppose I will have to take you up on that offer.
Gotta clear your mug one way or another, and then he'll slide over another gold coin.
Beatrice will nod, and she will go to reach underneath the bar, pull out another tankard, and proceed to walk over once again and fill it up. Bring it back over and slide the mug down to Rayleigh.
We'll take a long sip of it before placing it down again. and exhaling in a sigh. And he'll look to Bo and say, Beatrice, you've been here for quite a while in Bright Willow Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with the council? Are there any lingering feelings?
She raises a brow at you as she continues to clean the mug that she was still working on before. Yes, I have been here for some bit, but I've always been relatively pleased with things that have been going on. What does the council have to do with this?
Nothing at all. I wanted to get your opinion on them. After all, we've only been here for a number of days.
Well, I'm reading a rule real quick.
A scarier thing a DM can say than, are you
Bro.
sure?
Okay, yeah. So you are correct, Voodoo, about that in DMs. That's my fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Anyway, sorry. Repeat. Essentially, Raylig's asking her opinion on just the council.
Yeah.
She puts down the mug as she leans on the table, and taps her chin in thought. Well, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. If I had to be completely honest, the Automa, Julius, he's a bit odd, but I heard that the story goes is that he used to be a servitor Automa before he gained sentience. Something creator gave him something, I don't know. I don't really care. He's a bit weird. That's my opinion on him. The elf, the one that you have issues with, darling, he's a bitch. I don't like him very much. And she says this with the most, like, blunt, blank stare as she's looking at you, before she, like, continues on. As for the human and the orc, Antoine and Stuga, I would say that Antoine is a very kind person, and I would say that I'd say he's a good man. As for Stuga, I don't really have much on her, though I do know that she is good friends with the Merchants Guild representative here. Makes sense why the town is flourishing in terms of money. That's about all I can offer. All I can offer.
I see. He'll, like, slowly lower his face back into his tankard.
She looks
I'm sure
from
political
Raylig.
talk is-
Sorry, go on.
Oh, Mercon would say, I'm sure you're not too occupied with political talk. I'm sure that's more of a background noise as you do your work here.
People say many things, and sometimes they go in one ear and out the other, and her ears wiggle as she says this. But sometimes I do get a bit of a gossip here and there. Just nothing of, well, circumstance, to say the least. Just a bit of a who's fucking who, and who made this, and who did a mistake, and who pissed on whose sweater, and she stares at fucking Ogren. Wow, fuck off. I didn't do it on purpose.
Happens
She
to the
doesn't say
worst
anything.
of us, my friend. Happens to the worst of us, and he pats Ogren's shoulder.
Sure. And as this conversation is going on, I'm going to briefly cut over to Akuji and Leonin by the fire.
Yeah, we're by the fire.
Yes, please speak. The fire crackles as you guys continue your conversation.
Akuji will listen to Leonin as she'll kind of stand, she'll kind of kneel, kind of like a perch almost, where she's at right now, and she'll look at Leo. We didn't really take enough time to ask what the corruption even was. Like, we didn't really get the full story of what they're doing and why they're doing it. All we heard was corruption this, corruption that. We didn't ask all the necessary questions. He seemed willing enough to tell us.
Be certain it was a pretty tense situation at points. Seemed like Marqui was just quite eager to get the hells out of there.
Which is... I know I've not known him as long as you have, given you're his brother, but it seemed a little out of the ordinary for him. Wouldn't you think? Or agree?
He throws his arm in there. That's the $1 million question. That he's been out of sorts lately in a lot of sense. But there is.
Do you think Anissa would... Oh, sorry.
If he wants to act all quirky and hide things, then not much I can do about it. See how well it listens to me.
Do you think Anissa would give us any information if we asked her?
So he was like a quick row of his chin and thought, just like, maybe. I think you might have better luck in that regard.
Yeah, at least we can catch her out here in Bright Willow than having to go back there. And who knows if they'll be less cordial. Possibly, it's hard to say. At least we know another entrance in, though. That is a plus.
Although after my first impression, I'm not super eager to jump back into that conversation when filled.
So I probably suggest if we wanted to ask more questions, probably find Anissa here in the city then. Maybe ask her some more level-minded questions.
Gives like a quick look towards Marqui. Maybe we should pull it off for them for a little bit. They probably says.
Well, we probably shouldn't hold off for too long. But we can wait and let this kind of cool off until we talk about it again.
Right?
Because there's definitely more that we need to know. And maybe they might have the answers that we need.
That works for me. Color me intrigued, I suppose.
Kuji will nod. And she will remain perched by the fire, then just kind of look back at it and poke at it with the stick.
There is a fire poker, so probably that, because you're not outside, you're in a tavern.
Hey, she
Picks up
she
the
will poke the
flaming
fire
stick.
with the stick.
All right.
Picks up a flaming stick and waves it around.
Do you actually do that?
No, she would just use
Okay.
the fire poker.
Okay, about to say because there's a little girl over there that's called the fucking proprietor of the inn. So that would go well, I think.
She doesn't want to piss off Beatrice. No.
The small woman who is known to be pretty forward about what she doesn't like. Anyway, moving back over to Rayleigh and Murkon. What are you two doing?
It's cat.
I think Murkon's pretty relaxed now. I think as he looks over to Rayleigh, there's this tiny bit of growing tension, knowing Rayleigh's definitely far more outwardly affected by what's going on than him. So kind of taps his fingers on the counter for a moment before he decides once again, as he normally does, to speak up, more so for the group. Well, I did want to bring up something that we do have plans in. At least my brother and I certainly. I'm not. We are looking to possibly move on from the town by tomorrow and go on with some other ventures and look for some other work as well.
When you mention leaving the town, Beatrice has a small frown form on her face. Oh, you're leaving so soon?
Unfortunately, we're are in need of doing some work. My brother and I, you know what kind of work we do. Be it that there's not many more monsters around here, nothing the hunters or the adventurers can't handle, and it's best to go move on where our work might be needed elsewhere, unfortunately. He kind of like swirls the drink in his tankard as he goes for another sip.
Beatrice does give a reluctant nod and gives a small smile. Well, don't forget us, okay? The inn will always be open to you, my dear.
Forget my favorite drinks. And he does look back up to her with a more warm and a little more intimate smile than something she's seen before, but not very common.
She does give you a wink. I don't think I could ever forget a smile like that anyway.
Well, it certainly won't be a memory. We'll keep doing our work and we'll keep moving around. And of course, with Bright Willow, with a more bright future ahead of it, I believe, and hopefully some, greater developments for you, we would be more than happy to come back and give you a much longer visit. At least I should.
Very good to hear. Well, let's hope that whatever future this lovely place has is for the better. Rayleigh, or not Rayleigh, sorry.
I was gonna say when Murkon mentions like, oh yeah, for like the bright future the Bright Willow Haven has, I feel like Rayleigh just starts like he was drinking, but like at that point he just like starts chugging his drink like.
I feel like that's still fitting. He didn't actually say Bright Willow Haven, but he talked about like he said this place, and he did like tap. I guess he would have tapped the counter, but more so referring to the tavern.
Yeah, no, I'm getting what you're putting down.
He's so funny, right? It's just like, no fucking way. He said that. Bright Willow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be perfect.
How loud are you speaking, Murkon?
He's not speaking out of the norm. Pretty casual, but more open talk. He's not trying to he's not trying to control his volume, but he's also not trying to purposefully exclude Akuji or Leonin.
Okay. So Leonin and Akuji, you both would hear Murkon say all of this as it is an empty tavern and there is no one else talking except for Murkon and Beatrice.
Akuji will try and keep her face kind of neutral, but still kind of just stare at the fire and not actually look towards their direction.
He just kind of looks over, just like, what is he going on about?
You would see Angel turn in that direction as well as Murkon continues talking. Oh.
Give him a little pat on the head.
Murkon, you can continue talking if you so wish.
Sure. This being our last night, however, of course, we'll be more than happily spend a lot of it here before we retire for bed. Although I'm sure you might agree, we do have quite a trek ahead, so it's best to, get our rest as much as we can.
Oh, of course, I understand. If you need to stock up on anything, I would be willing to offer my services as per usual. But if you're more interested in a different kind of service, such as, a drink, something to truly remember the tipsy tinkerer by, I would be more than willing to imbibe in your fancy.
I'm sure we can settle that matter if we need anything by tomorrow. We're not looking to leave early in the morning, but we do want to save our energy. That being said, I'm sure another ale would be more than welcome. He looks down. He does have a little bit of it left. Not yet, though. I'll savor this drop here.
Of course. Just tell me when you're ready for a refill.
Murkon nods, taking another drink.
On the subject of refills, may I please have another ale, Beatrice?
Oh, certainly. That'll be 1 crown, relic.
He'll put it down too.
He or she looks down. Is this a tip?
A well wish, if you may.
She slides it underneath the counter, pockets it, and proceeds to walk back over towards the area with ale to refill your tankard. Raylick has turned into a Darkest Dungeon character.
Oh no.
And
a good mate.
out of surprise, I guess, for you, she would actually give you 2 tankards of ale.
His eyes widen in surprise. But his eyes also look guilty.
What, did you think I was actually not going to do my work properly? 2 crowns for 2 ales. Why do you look surprised by this?
No, not at all. Thank you. We'll slowly slide the ales towards him. Still looking guilty. Murkon can tell that he looks guilty.
Murkon will definitely tell, absolutely. Tongue in cheek as he looks down to his drink and takes another one. He is no longer looking in Raylick's direction for a lot of the night.
Leo and Akuji, are you 2 doing anything else?
After she's done talking with Leo, she'll probably walk over to the bar, probably on the other side of Ogrim,
Okay. Ogren does give you a nod, as does Beatrice, and she walks over in your direction. It's good to see you again, darling. Do you want anything to drink?
Yes, please, and something to eat too, if you whatever you have.
Quite a bit, but if you just want some more mushroom risotto, I could definitely put that on the bill on the house as a farewell gift, so to speak.
Sure, I'll do that. And mug of ale.
Of course, that'll be 1 crown, my dear.
She will put one down. Words can't speak. She will put down 1 crown.
She will get a tankard, move back over to you, put it down, and then she will nod to you, seeing Leo approach. And can I get you anything, my dear?
Just some water for just water for my friend here. That's Angel on the head.
She will nod as you see her reach under the counter to grab something, grab the pitcher of water she had for Murkhan, fill it up, and then go back over here and hand you what looks like a bowl. It's like a soup bowl.
Much obliged.
She nods, and she goes back into the back and proceeds to disappear for a moment.
Feeds the cat. Slop, 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 slop.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what happens.
Big drinking.
And as Ogren peers up from his drunken daze, he turns to look between Murkhan, Rayleigh, Akuji, Leonin, all of you. So you guys are leaving tomorrow?
Yep. Seeing what other trouble we can get into.
All right. Well, guess I should give you some thanks for breaking me out of that damn fort. I didn't think I was going to end up there to begin with, but I don't think I'd have made it out alive without you guys, so appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm sure you helped us out there too, so simply returning the favor.
Well, I'm
Sounds
just...
like you're going.
Sorry, go on.
Sounds like you're going to stay here then.
I mean, yeah, I do live here after all. I work with the League, and honestly, you two, you'll motion between Murkhan and Leonin, you two are fucking Silverbrooks. There's no comparison. I'm just some bronze adventurer. Take odd jobs here and there. So, it was really you guys that did all the work.
Murkhan waves his hand. Well, your stout work does more than enough for what we need. Matter of fact, I was thinking about if I ever run into my family again to bring the good word about you and mention the great amount of aid you've given us as well.
Back him up on that.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Murkhan. Truly. He takes a hefty swig of his now empty mug, and you see him turn it over and there's nothing in it. It's fuck. Alright, fine. It's one of those nights. Regardless, thanks. Ogren of Bright Willow Haven should suffice, I think.
Won't forget that. And he raises his mug in a more of a symbolic toast towards him.
He does give a small smile, his beard twitching up a bit more as he steadies himself. He'll look in Leo's direction and smile as well. Yeah, to me, I guess.
I remember you two at each other's throats. I swear you two are about to cry looking at each other.
Oh, hold on. And he turns to Leo and then glares. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, you like like a mime's like an angry like fist shake, just like
When you turn back to Angel, he's just giving you the are you fucking serious face? It's like, really, bro? It looks like I show speed.
gives him like a fucking nudge in like the side of the paw, just like
Oh. But you do see Ogred smile, very much not meaning it, and he probably doesn't even realize it because he is drunk. But as he sits back down, slumps forward a bit, little dazed. I don't think this place will be completely better off, but it's a good start. No, just thump his head just directly onto the bar top.
Does Murkon hear any iconic snoring?
No, not this time. You do hear a heavy sigh, as a matter of fact.
Well, as much as I want to call this place home, we do have lots of work to do. Doesn't mean that we will never come back, but I probably won't be down for a while. Maybe come back sometime this year. I want to see how the snow is with Bright Willow.
Whatever remains of it.
Murkon gives
Ogren-
Riley the most bombastic side eye.
As you say that, Raylig, Ogren peeks his head up. What? What do you mean by that?
Another one of his doom and gloom talk. And Murkon gives Rayleigh the sharpest stare. Rayleigh hasn't seen a stare like that from Murkon in a long while. This one is sharp.
Gucci would also look over with kind of like a head tilts, like, the fuck you just say?
He's into his third ale with his ears just back and droopy.
Because I rolled a fear, Ogren is going to stand up and walk over to Raylig and sit next to him. And he'll look over at Murkon. No. I've known this idiot for a couple years, and he usually says shit that's on his mind. And he turns back to Raylig in a drunken but actual serious stare. What do you mean by what remains of it?
Just a drunkard. Rattling on. That's what I do. It's what I've done for years now.
I'm gonna need you to roll a presence check there, my boy. For a very clear deception check. And you're
Can
also
I-
lying to a fellow drunkard, so it's gonna be high. What do you want to do, Murkon?
Can I also add? You should have your hope dice, right? Unless I cancel from the last session.
Those are once per session, and they only last per session.
Okay. I would like. I think it's a hope that I have to spend to help or to aid.
Let me look that up real quick. Help.
Yes. Hope.
freaking
Aid an
architect.
ally.
Aid an ally. Or just aid. Yes. I do believe that is the case.
Okay. Yeah, I will spend a hope to give you advantage as Murkon kind of falls up a little bit. Oh, he's been a little worried about the situation regarding a the town's history. He's a little bit more pessimistic and believing there might be something else, but we've done all our research and there's really nothing else we found.
Hmm.
If there's any remnants at all, I'm sure it's absolutely nothing of mine, but Marqui kind of rolls his eyes. You tried telling him that the 40th time.
You talking about the fucking crystal in the middle of the square?
Oh, I'd say that's about as much as you can get.
So this, because you did roll a fear, it is a partial success. So as you, because I do get a fear from that.
Mhm.
As you seem to explain this, Raylig, I'm gonna need you to continue to make yourself look believable. How do you try to convince Ogren that you're just drunk and being very depressing right now?
Well, he genuinely feels really depressing right now. I mean,
Yes.
that's not deceiving.
Of course, but how do you try to convince him?
I mean, with seeing Mercon's disapproval of that, I feel like he would just go further into his drink.
Okay.
Just starts drinking more.
And yeah, when that's done, he would, like, when his current ale's done, he would kind of thump it on the counter. Like do like the, basically what Ogren did, like turn it over, but like, oh, there's nothing left, and like look towards the door that Beatrice left. Presumably looking for another ale.
You do have another ale next to you, unless you just down that immediately.
Oh no, that was the third one. He was into
that's
his
funny.
third one. Yeah.
He's clear.
Okay. So
It's
you're...
clear.
Do you say anything?
Empty already.
Mercon, do you say anything else to try and convince him otherwise?
Mercon kind of does a little bit of a shrug. He's been mooding like that all day. I don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed or if he's not happy with his premium bedroll anymore, but he's been kind of in and out of these little states all day. Mostly this. Less alcohol, I suppose. This way.
And as you say he's been in and out of this all day, Beatrice does come back out, hands Akuji her food with the mushroom risotto.
Thank you, Beatrice.
And she slides back down. This will be the partial failure reaction, as your ears do twitch, looking in your direction, Mercon. You said he's been in and out of it all day. That is... He's usually just in a single state. Is there something bothering you, Raylig?
He like looks to Mercon. Again, he sees the guilty eyes.
Mercon, he could tell. I don't know if their telepathic connection's still there. Mercon
Actually, that's a good point. It's there until he dismisses it, which I think he would be terrible at remembering to do, TBH.
Good. No word. Rayleigh can just see the clearest image of Mercon pinching the bridge of his nose telepathically. Like, just the fullest, like, forehead wrinkles, like, scrunched eyebrows, like, pinched nose. You think he's about to rip the damn thing off. But Mercon kind of just has, like, the hand on the chin as he's, like, tapping his finger. He's just, like, looking at Rayleigh, like, just... He's done what he could here. He's leaving it to him.
You would see Ogren look between you two before he does go back to his original seat. Fine. But Beatrice does, as a concerned friend of yours, Raylig, does lean over the bar. Do tell old Beau what troubles you so. She gives you a very welcoming, warm smile.
And I feel like Rayleigh, in their telepathic conversation, would give Marcon the kind of look that he gave him when they clearly were not on the same page about the brigade, and like how Marcon seemed to be like, oh, this is a bunch of shite. And Rayleigh was like, well, is it really so bad if they're like trying to do something, if it really is like an injustice? Like they're not on the same page.
No,
Is the feeling that he's getting. But he will look over to Beau and say, well, I've cleared out the ale I have in front of me and would appreciate another one if I could purchase that. But I suppose I'm just worried about leaving town. I feel like there's still things here that I would have liked to do, and perhaps it is too soon, or maybe this is just how it goes for one like myself.
Things such as what?
Helping people, helping a friend. For so many years of my life, I stood by and just did what I was told. I didn't do anything, and now that I'm no longer bound by that. Like, look into his empty mug again. There's no more ale in it.
For a brief second, Rayleigh, you look into this empty cup, and you see a small little dot of mead, ale, actually, sorry. A small little bead of ale, and you can see the little reflection in the water and see just how pathetic you look right now.
Oh no.
God.
And Marcon would recognize the look he makes, like, right before the waterworks start, like, he at the beginning of, like, starting to get teary-eyed.
Marcon is scratching his forehead. He's like, oh, there's the first of the night. And just kind of like looks over to Beatrice with like that smile that says like, yep, here we are, here it's happening.
Beatrice does go off back out towards the kegs and proceeds to take the empty mug that Rayleigh had and fill it up before she comes back over, swiping the coin that was on the table and hands it to you, Rayleigh. And now you can see your actual reflection, and it looks even worse.
Oh dear.
Not the ugly SpongeBob episode.
That's all I'm good for.
God.
Drinking. Just doing what I'm told. I don't know why I thought for a moment I could do something else.
Beatrice does give you a sympathetic look. Well, you have done something else already. You have helped the town prosper in the very short amount of time you've been here. I'd say that's an accomplishment, no?
There's just tears streaming down his face. Harder.
Remember, Chad, crying is a free action.
Crying's a free action.
Crying is indeed a free action.
Yep.
Murkon.
Poor lad.
Yeah. Murkon at this point just looks back over to the others, like with the face of just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Why am I sitting next to him?
Oh my god.
She will probably like look and like try her best to ignore what's happening to her left and just focus on her food and drink.
God, this whole party is just full of damn, that sucks.
Damn, bro, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Anyways,
Man, no fucking consolation whatsoever. Even Angel's like, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
He's lifting his paw to like hide his face.
Yeah,
like, pretend he's not here.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Murkon, really, he does turn back and just like reaches over to Rayleigh, just like in the far, like doesn't want to move out of the seat, but he's gonna just kind of like pat his shoulder just a little bit. He just goes, "Yeah."
Hey, Rayleigh.
That's
Hey, Rayleigh. What's going on in Rayleigh's head? That's probably being shot towards Murkon at this point in time.
Oh, he feels very guilty about leaving town, like the way it is, knowing what they know is going to go down. And yeah, he'd probably get just a full emotion rush of like, yeah, that guilt and like shame of like, it basically, oh, what's the word? It's a bit of a feeling of like defeatedness and like despair of like, here we go again. This bad thing's going to happen, and I'm doing nothing.
That will actually bring a bit of the mood down for Murkon. You can tell, like, as he like sits back and like looks at Rayleigh, like kind of up and down in a like more contemplative way, he does seem to have not a frown, but like the smile is going away, and he takes a bigger drink of his water as he scratches his head and sits back in his seat. Well, I'm gonna take a little break in my room. I got to just go through some things first, and I'll come back down once the place gets a little more lively. If not, then I will still come down to see you. And he looks back over to Ogren and Beatrice with a smile, and he will start to get up from his seat to leave.
Beatrice gives you like an awkward wave as you go up the stairs. Sure. See you soon, I hope. And as you disappear upstairs, Beatrice looks over at Rayleigh. Then Ogren, who has his kind of just minding his own business, and then looks to Akuji and Leonin. She scoots down the bar.
One more thing to do.
Okay, what's up?
Murkon telepathically says to Rayleigh, very calmly, very slowly, Rayleigh,
yes.
Get the hell out of my head.
Yeah.
You just hear a little sniffle before it cuts out.
Oh.
Murkon goes to his room.
All right. I will make you invisible as you leave the scene. And the rest of the group, Beatrice does move over, seeing that Rayleigh is inconsolable, and looks over to Akuji and Leonin. Not to pry at all, but And she goes to the middle to get in between both of you, first looking to Leonin. Your brother is acting a little off. And she points over to Raylig. I have never seen him cry that hard before in my entire life. Is there something going on that you're not saying? I mean, if it's private, I won't budge, but it's a little awkward considering you're the only people here.
He gives Akuji like a small look before just be like, unfortunately, it does just concern the party as much as I would prefer to just outright say it.
Mm.
As much as I have my gripes with the way my brother is acting, I'm not going to betray.
Scoff a little bit.
I'm not going to betray his trust like that if he isn't really comfortable with sharing. I'm sure you understand.
No, of course. You're not in any danger, are you?
Not really. No.
Okay. But that's good. And you see that she visibly relaxes. I was a bit worried that you're skipping town because someone is trying to kill you or something. The League is pretty good at dealing with those situations, but though you lot seem very capable, it's I guess it's so fast is all. Well, let me know if you need anything. I'll be around. I'll probably be serving Mr. Sad Sack over there a couple more drinks before he passes out.
Sorry for the trouble.
It's no trouble, just concerned for a couple of customers that have become favorites of mine over a short amount of time. You have very strong personalities. In a good way, I should say. And she'll move back over towards Raylig to make sure he keeps giving her money for booze. And Ogren is going to specifically look over towards Akuji. So, he is just speaking nonsense about not helping out more, and it's nothing else.
Yeah. That is the gist of it, yeah. Just, we haven't really still figured out this crystal, and he's probably still just worked up about us not actually finding the complete answers to it before we left.
I mean, damn thing's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried going to the old crypts yet? Looking further in there, in case you're worried about it. Could probably go to the graveyard, I'd imagine. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a fucking lich, right?
Sorry, that's where the brigade is, right? That's the old crypts that he's talking about?
Yes.
Shit. Okay. Ooh, how would Akuji play this?
I don't know. How would Akuji play this? Smiles.
Smiles. Oh. She would probably... Huh?
Suspicious.
Excuse me. We did not know that there was entrance to it in the graveyard. There's one in the graveyard?
He raises a brow. No. I was saying that you could go to the graveyard. Maybe talk to the person that's there that's recently took up duty. She's a pallet. I never said anything about that. You could go to either or.
I must have just misheard you. Yeah, who... do you know what her name is? That we might, in case we do come back and want to continue our investigations, contact her about information?
I'm kind of surprised. Well, I'm not actually all that surprised you haven't known her yet, but, she's like, used to be some hot shot back up in the north or something. I think her name is Anissa. Came from Rhyme, part of one of the big mercenary companies. You'll know her when you see her. She's fucking huge.
All right, good to know. I'll definitely make sure to let the others know about this too when we come back.
Sure.
Yeah, and then she'll just continue. She'll finish off her risotto and her drink, and she'll kind of sit there and just think about what to do. If she wants more, go sleep. She herself doesn't even know yet.
Or talk to your party members.
Or talk to a party member. Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
Yes.
She will get up and she'll give Ogren a quick nod before she goes over to Rayleigh and sit next to him.
Okay.
And then she'll kind of not lean on him, but she'll kind of lean like close to him and be like, "How we doing?" Probably just opening the door from our waterworks, but
Just the very faintest.
My poor lad.
You're Kochi.
hi, Ray.
Doing okay. Were you holding up yourself after that ordeal? You look to be a bit conflicted when I glanced over.
I am. Still am. But, it's probably better conversation had elsewhere. But, everything will be alright. I wouldn't be too worried about anything. It's nothing.
He gives Kochi a look of like when she's like, "Oh, it'll be all right." Of like a, "Will it?" But like he doesn't say anything. It's just the look.
Just that, yeah. She'll kind of give him like a, hopefully, kind of look to her on her face. And a slight head tilt. But she will kind of lean closer and whisper, it didn't seem like they wanted to hurt anybody if they don't have to. She's being very, very quiet about that.
He'll whisper back. I may start that way, but if there's something I've learned over the years is that it's never quite that simple.
Seeing you
Might
guys
not
whispering
be.
to each other, Beatrice does walk away. Let you guys
Ooh,
have your
okay.
privacy.
It might not ever be that simple, but unfortunately, that's nothing that we can control. We just have to trust in the words that we had with them and with him. That he'll do what he can not to hurt anyone and keep this place safe. He seemed to have good intentions for Bright Willow.
That's what I thought when I first met the Zoranovas. I've learned that I'm good at putting my trust in the wrong people. We'll kind of like look towards the stairs where Marcon left. Perhaps we can talk in the morning once we've had some time. We have to discuss our next steps after all.
She'll nod her head and finally say, "Sure." She'll put her hand on on his shoulder and give it like a reassuring kind of squeeze. And she'll still sit beside him. She won't move back. She'll just sit there, keep him company.
Okay. Leo, are you doing anything?
It's probably just gonna keep him company for a little while before heading up to bed. Boy, looking to be a little tired.
Okay. All right. And now we'll cut to Marqui. Marqui, as you are upstairs, there is no map for this. What are you doing upstairs? If you are here.
Oh, excuse me. Marqui is in the room, and much to kind of what he said, he is mostly like getting things put together, kind of reconvening, getting his inventory in order. But then he starts to get his notes out, and he starts to write deeper. And usually I would write these notes for myself, but I think for this part, I'll go ahead and narrate them a little bit.
Sure, by all means.
Yeah.
One more day. That's all I have left. By the time night falls, we'll be free. We should be moving without any eyes, or at least I should be. Once I do that, I'm going to find as much information as I can. Anything. If I don't figure out what's going on with this disease. And he kind of pauses his quill as he puts the quill down first. He puts his other hand up and kind of rubs his face. And he looks towards the window out towards Bright Willow.
As you
and
do,
he goes back to... Yep.
As you do, you would see that night has finally fallen on the town. There are a couple people that you spot milling about. You see Julius heading back in the direction that you followed him towards the graveyard. And you do see passing by him Jezerine, as she gives a smile and wave, walking back down south of the village, probably back towards the outskirts where her home is. You see the moon rise.
Marqui takes in a deep breath through his teeth before he goes back to writing in his notes, continuing on from where he was. If I don't, I have no choice but to leave. I don't need to carry any more of what this is. The people around me. I will find answers, but I'll not make a whole town pay for that. Now comes the deepest question I've been struggling to wrap in my head. Is it worth risking my friends? Why must they suffer for what I have to do? Why would Leonin? He suffered enough. And he puts the notebook down carefully, as if the words are still something he's hoping to pull back from the pages, but more so to let the ink dry before he looks back towards the area where Julius was going.
You see him just kind of going out of sight, heading in the same direct pathway, which you did follow him through via towards the graveyard, but he is no longer in sight for you.
Rakan whispers to himself, "One more night. One more." And he finally closes his book. He goes to his mirror to wash his face and, clean himself up. And having worn his hat all day, he decides to take it off. Much like Leonin, his hair is actually much more straight. But in his case, although it's a little more wavy, it's actually a lot more longer, going closer towards the middle of his back in length. Before he takes a deep breath in and closes his eyes, opens them, and puts on his normal, smarmy, relaxed, aloof smile before he goes back down with the others.
Okay. And you don't have your hat on anymore, correct?
Nope, he took it off. He is no longer wearing the jester's hat. He's got his hair down. Probably would be, other than Leonin and Beatrice, the first time seeing him with his hat off. He's also, I guess I would add, he would also probably get in some more of a relaxed state of attire. He would have his little potions belt off with the poison and the he would keep the tinctures on him, of course, and have his bag, but he would have his a lot of his looser stuff off.
So aside from Leonin and Beatrice, you all would see a more relaxed version of Murkon with his full hair out. Very long. As he approaches the bar once more, Beatrice does naturally walk back over towards him. And does smile, seeing that you are in a more relaxed state. So you took it off. That's a bit surprising. Can I get you anything else, dear?
One more ale, and I think I'm going to finally have a bite of that for Soto.
Of course. And she will walk back over, pour another ale, walk back over towards you, and slide it over while you give her a crown. And she will then proceed to walk back into the kitchen, disappear behind the door, and you are once again alone with your party for a little bit.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
That will pause what I was gonna have Murkon say.
Okay. If that's the case. With nothing being said between the other ones, couple minutes will pass as Beatrice does walk back out with a piping hot bowl of her famous mushroom risotto and slides it over towards you. On the house, same deal as I gave Akuji.
Cheers, love. And he takes a spoonful and takes his first bite of the risotto.
It's pretty damn good. It's something that Rayleigh was definitely not lying about. It's very creamy. There's a bit of a tenderness to the mushrooms that doesn't make it taste like mushrooms. It almost tastes like a foul meat. That makes it very enjoyable and not as gummy as one would expect. There's a bit of a spice in there that makes it very a little bit zippy, but not overpowering. And it is overall very creamy, very good.
That food does put a bigger smile on Murkon's face as he chews away. I would say Rayleigh, despite having heard what Murkon said in his head, he looks like he has his stuff all together. It's always been hard to get a read on him. He's always kind of keeping a face up, but you can tell that unlike before, he's definitely in a better mood. You just don't know why. However, him eating it might help at least something with that.
And I feel like as like he and Okuchi are just like drinking together, he would end up staring at Murkon after he came down because like he obviously looks very different from before, and like he seemed not okay when he went up, like with the telepathy. Then he's like, wait, but he's sus that he's actually feeling okay because that feels too soon. But as he's like staring straight at him, his stomach growls involuntarily as he's finished his thermos of probably lukewarm to cold risotto at this point because they got it at the beginning of the day.
Yes.
So that's all that Murkon hears as Rayleigh is staring straight at him with a bit of a quizzical look.
Murkon, even though he feels, like you could tell he like can feel eyes on him, he doesn't look to Rayleigh. He seems to be more focused on his food and sitting and relaxing. But you know him, he's a lot more observant than that, so maybe that could possibly be some sort of sign of something else is going on here, but not anything you could ponder to.
Okay. You eat away the mushrooms risotto. And as you do, would anyone else like to do anything? Any things to be said? Any things that need to be done?
Nope, Kuji would just be drinking with Rayleigh.
Okay.
Varutka is back. 18
Welcome
cups.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
But
Well, with that being the case, food is eaten, drinks are had, in a very quiet, somewhat melancholic moment. You guys essentially will be getting a long rest soon. But is there any conversations that you want to have with either yourselves or the NPCs before we shift to the next day?
I have something, unless anyone else wants to do anything before that.
I think I'm pretty.
I'm good. Whatever you want to do. Headphones are
Okay.
dying. Oh no.
We have something from Murkon, nothing for Leo and Akushi. Raylig, are you doing anything? Are you conversing or lamenting or anything of the sort?
I think I would just keep drinking, but Akuji would just notice that occasionally he's glancing in Murkon's direction
Okay.
with a
Yeah, for the majority of it, Murkon's going to be kind of the same. He's not going to really change how he's acting throughout it. And I think you would think that the last time you'd see him before the night is over is him go to bed and go to sleep. However, Murkon would take his turn by the time it's around nighttime, time it's around bed, knocking on everyone's door.
All right. So, as you guys are settling down for the evening, with Ogren having fallen asleep at the bar and Beatrice closing up shop, letting you guys go to sleep, aside from Murkon doing the actual task, you would all hear a knock at the door, and when you answer it, if you do answer it, you would see Murkon.
Yeah, I guess for each person, he'll essentially, for the first person, I think he would knock on Raylig's door first. That smile, that comfortable grin he had when he walked up the stairs for bed, because he seemed, like he got it all out, that he was, finally there to relax for what is supposed to be the last night. He will not have that on his face. He'll look to Raylig in the middle of how he was before, with not the greatest expression of pulling off a face. He will be more blank and almost cold. And he'll simply say to Raylig, "Let's talk in my room with the others."
Okay. Then, because this is the first time that, because normally they're in their own in room, so yeah, you can say all that, but just say it with the understanding that this dude has walked over still halfway in one of these things, because that's what his premium bedroll looks like in my head, except it's purple because that's Matilda's favorite color. So he probably has the hood off and he's halfway in it because he was not expecting someone to knock. So he kind of just you heard a thump as he rolled off the bed.
Jesus Christ.
And hobbled over.
Premium head.
Murkon will
a premium snuggie.
Do I need to post the fucking Limmy image again?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Murkon will.
Because it
look
reduces
down.
stress, so I thought this made sense.
Yeah. Murkon's gonna look down at him. Just, take the damn thing off.
Rude.
Yeah, of course. And he'll kind of shimmy out of it. By all means, then have you gathered the others?
Mercon doesn't answer him as he walks over to the other doors. God. And he'll essentially do the same, kind of knock everybody's door and tell them to we need to meet.
Okay. Eventually, you do all coalesce into Mercon's room. It is very similar to all of yours, aside from his stuff being everywhere.
She looks not happy with having her sleep interrupted. She
Aw.
looks tired as all hell.
Theo does not look like he'd been sleeping much anyway, so he's just happy to be there, I guess.
Mercon, as soon as he sees everyone is in the room, he'll close the door and let everyone kind of once everyone's in, he's not closing the door and railing. That'd be fucked up.
No.
But
Not our boy.
he'll yes, he will let everyone in, and as soon as he does, hat's still off. He's actually out of his gear, wearing just like, black pants and a white tunic.
Bro looking like
He'll
Alucard.
kind of look a little bit. He'll look
DJs.
over to Rayleigh specifically. That look that even Leonin would know is not one of great. You can tell that facade of like being calm and cool is not caring about holding that. And he'll kind of start off. Did it ever occur to you that we said we would leave them alone, but we still have others things to do with the demon work? You really think I would leave that untouched?
I was kind of waiting for this conversation, honestly.
But the way you made it seem, you seemed eager to get out of town, so
We need to
I'd
make people
assumed.
think that we're eager to leave town because we don't need people on our trail. If we deal with two things at once, we're doing 50% of work on one, 50% on the other. We can't do that when other people are believing that we're not done with them.
Then what is it you propose we do in the next day?
I propose is that we continue to do our research on the work and the curse that has been dealt to the city from the demons, and we get that taken care of as soon as possible, and then make that our last thing before we leave. Because the last thing we need to deal with, he kind of scratches his head as he stumbles a bit. Look, the last thing we need to deal with is Bright Willow being left to whatever cultic remnants is happening here. We still got undead to deal with. We still got people who are more than likely tied to it to deal with. We can at least deal with that without having this damn shadow bark on our backs. If you're so worried about this town, we at least can do that for them. There's a bit more venom in that than you would notice Mercon would put out, and yet it still feels genuine. There is a boiling annoyance in his voice as he's trying to explain this.
Oh, he's a tsundere.
Aww.
What if we missed something? We never looked into the council. All of the jobs came from them, so we assumed that they were acting in good faith, but I realize now that we never turned the lens of scrutiny on themselves.
Well, if the councils are dealing with the demons, then we'll find that out. But that's all we're going to find out because everything else is not our prerogative. Look, I've already been working on this a little bit. I'm trying to make a plan to get into that cemetery again. But the last thing I need right now is everyone to not be on the same page. And he'll start moving around the room, not really saying anything. He's trying to like gather stuff together.
Okay.
I think Raylick will look to the others to see how they're reacting to this.
Guji will kind of have her arms crossed, and she will not look too pleased as she looks at Murkon. There's just a few things. One, they never seem to have a reason to come after us. They never seem to give that inclination that they wanted to. But what if there is still some corruption here that we don't see, or that we're failing to see? They've been here longer than we have. They've seen more than we have. We didn't ask them what corruption they see. We don't know the full story.
Excellent point. We don't know the full story because it doesn't matter. Secondly, if you really wanted to understand that information as much, you would have let me done my job to sneak into the cemetery without interrupting me.
Yeah, what happens if you actually got caught and you were killed?
And so what? That was the whole point. On my own, they wouldn't have known anything. I had my whole story planned up. Worst thing they would have done is put me in jail. Now, the whole thing that they're dealing with is the entire group of people they're going to be mourn.
Fool it.
I don't even know why I'm explaining this to you. You don't even understand half of the things we talk about.
Fool it. Good lord. This isn't productive. We need to keep it on track.
Murkon finally pulls out some papers. If you want to figure out anything in this town, we need to figure out what's going on with the woods, and we need to figure out if it's tied to anything to that crystal dealing with that damn lich in there. And he starts to pull out some more papers as he kind of lays them out. And more so on them, he has some kind of bits of things discussing necromancy. He has been doing, with him having a little more knowledge on them, he does pull out some, but he more so has some questions, more so listed out. You can see a lot of question marks, kind of put out.
Okay.
I guess at this point he kind of goes more quiet as he's pulling stuff together.
Sure.
And he'll speak up a little more calm, like a little more quieter, but not necessarily calmer.
Yeah.
We got one day to ask as many questions as we can. While you guys do that, I'm going to prepare to get myself into wherever we need to once again. Once we do that, you guys are going to wait outside the city while I take care of this and do what I need to do. Once that's done, then we can get whatever we need to figure out. I'll come back with whatever information we can, and then we can take care of this then tomorrow night. Is anyone going to want to look at the notes a little more?
Yeah, Raylick would definitely want to. And as he's looking it over, he'd probably say something along the lines of like, then which areas do you have outlined? The cemetery? The forest? We could go back to the crypts now that we have a somewhat tenuous but not hostile relation with the brigade. After all, we wish to go there to investigate in the first place.
I'm not going there to have any more conversations with them. I don't want to hear another word out of that man's head. Well, to be frank, he's talking out of his ass the whole time. I'm not going to try to listen to him anymore.
Can you be so sure he is?
And if there's something we can learn of Lady Lilith's curse, then it would be worth investigating there.
Murkon actually peeks up at Akuji because I know bullshit, and that's all he spoke. I started to get a little derailed there.
Yeah, there's no
And if they're
derailing
hiding
here.
Yep. And if they're hiding anything regarding the crypts in terms of information, pretty sure the last thing they're going to want to do is let us look at it. That's why we need to go on our own to do it ourselves and make sure they don't know what we're doing. As long as they know that, we're going to be just fine.
Then do you intend to sneak into their stronghold by yourself?
Murkon doesn't answer it right away. I'm going to need supplies. More supplies than I did before.
Reasonable.
If you get caught there, wouldn't that cause more harm than good than you intend?
If it's just me, that's fine. But if they know that you guys aren't a part of this, then that's equally just as fine. That's why only one person needs to go, just like before. Like it should have been. He doesn't
You're
say
the
it with a
one
lot
who
of
showed the most animosity. If they find you on your own, then more likely than not,
Right.
they would be hostile.
Yes, split the party for the plot. Do it.
You are the
Bro,
one
we're
who's
gonna end up as the brigade. He's gonna die, and then we're just gonna be the Shadowbark Brigade 2.0.
You are the one
Oh,
who is
God.
has the most volatile relationship with them. So if they do catch you, they will probably be harsher than you than any of us.
Yeah, well, I know I can get out quicker than any of you guys either. And on top of that, that just means they'll focus more on me and less on you.
How heroic of you.
Nothing with heroics, all logistics.
Yes, be a prisoner of the narrative, Murkon. Do it.
Oh, God.
I'm just letting you guys know I have not discussed anything with Voodoo. This is all him, by the way.
Yeah, he's gonna give like a small shrug, just like you can point the finger at any other reason why these last couple of operations went south. But at some point, you gotta look inward.
Murkon kind of like scrunches his nose. He goes, I need you to stop doing that. The more you try to be like me, the less it's just weird.
Okay, gives you like the middle finger. God forbid I try to be like you. I'm just being more reasonable, level-headed about the situation.
You know, being reasonable and level-headed does not mean the same thing as you do. Not talking about anything is not the same thing. Not being present in a conversation is not the same thing as level-headed.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about anymore.
I'm saying is, you have not made many conversations with a lot of people here, and the last thing I want to do is listen to you talk about it like you know what I'm talking about. God.
First of all, go fuck yourself. I'm involved with that with this as much as any of you. Think you're gonna get away with trying to cut me out just because of your personal reasons for this?
I'm not saying I'm cutting you out. Murkon kind of pauses for a good moment. His eyes looks over to his brother before falling back. If I wanted to cut you out, I wouldn't have brought you in here to talk about this.
Speaking, but from what I can see, minds are in multiple parts about this.
Yeah, well, your eyes aren't as good as you think they are.
I don't think anything about that. Just... never mind. What I even thought of you. Possible as always.
When you do that, Leonin, you feel a headbutt into your leg as Angel stares up at you and glares.
Look, only way to direct that glare towards him once in a while.
Ow. Angel makes a motion at Murkon, as if he's trying to tell you something, Leonin.
Murkon doesn't go quiet very often from what other people saying, but in this moment, doesn't even say anything back. His jaw tightens quite a bit, and his breathing is slow as he takes a deep breath. I need you all on the same plan. We got nothing else to add. Then I got nothing else to say. But what I have to do, what I need to do, I can't do it with you guys holding me back.
Duchy raise an eyebrow.
I don't need you following me. I don't need you trying to be something you're not. And he looks over to Rayleigh. And I don't need you in my head right now. And he looks over to Leonin. I need a network. But I don't need you on my ass. I don't need you following me into this. So for the love of gods, can you do that for me? And he looks over to the group. Can we follow a script?
Well, party?
Theo just gives like a small shrug, not even like trying to meet his gaze in any way, just be like, whatever.
Koji will look annoyed and hurt a bit. But she doesn't say anything or look at Murkon. But she will give that kind of like, not defeated, but half-assed kind of shrug in like agreement. As she keeps her arms crossed and lean, like closing herself off from him as she leans against the wall in his room. Her body's very rigid. She's not relaxed at all.
Raylig?
He would have been looking to lean in to see what his reaction was. And seeing the terse response, he'd look to Marqui and sigh. We're a jester. I feel you. Could have chosen your words, Lord. Look at Akuji. Carefully. If this is what you really wish to do, then I learned from Matilda that the point of an adventuring party is to support one another in whatever endeavors they wish to pursue. So I will do that for you.
As the responses from everyone, quiet and vocal, are made, Murkon's eyes goes around the room. And you can see just the rawest form of exhaustion in his eyes, peeling through what was once a stern and almost unfriendly stare, as his jaw stays tight, and it's almost like each breath is kind of pulling him back to cover that tiredness in his eyes. But as Raylig mentions, you know, the value of a party, Murkon almost in a way, invisibly, like in a way where he's trying very hard not to let people see, he does take a swallow. Well, really, I don't remember any of us saying we're a party. Met in jail and that's it.
Well, the definition of an adventuring party, according to the League, is...
Give a damn about the definition. It's not what we are. And he can't say that and look at Raylig in the eyes.
Once we agree on something,
party or not, I just hope that you're not trying to take on too much by yourself. It bites you back in the end.
you're wasting your breath.
And he gives him a sad look, like he's a little bit... Like he's looking at a bit of a younger version of himself at one point who tried to, you know, handle things himself, bottle things up and keep it to himself. And he just lets out a long sigh. If you change your mind, then look at the others. I will be here, at least.
It's been minutes, and Murkon has not looked at anyone in the eyes. You all gather as much information as you want. Talk about it after. Then when we fake our leave, you guys find a camp. And then I go do my part.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm assuming that this is the end of the conversation. You all are dispersing from his room. Unless there's anything else that needs to be said.
Murkon will... Oh, yep, go ahead.
Unless Leo was stopped, yeah, and sees the conversation winding down, you just walk out.
I think for the other two, they could see that Murkon tries to look at Leo Nancy, walks out, but not sharply. Well, not like hard, but quite sharply, like turns his gaze away before he quickly scans the papers he had laid out at first before putting them back together.
I think before leaving Akuji, she'll keep her voice neutral. It's not that I don't want to understand what you guys talk about. I don't know. Because you don't know my story. And insulting your friends, I don't think is the good way to start learning. And she will leave and go back to her room.
Damn. Got told by the experiment that you're a loser. No, I'm kidding.
Did I just get owned by a damn lab rat?
Yes. Like a lab dog.
True.
Woof.
Oh no,
Woof. Raylick, do you do anything or do you go back?
I don't think he would have said anything more. He would just give him a sad look, like that look again, like he's looking at a younger version of himself, and then dip.
All right. Very well. As a friendly reminder to Leonin, you do have a thing that allows you to talk to animals. As when you do walk back, it looks like that your beloved animal companion is trying to get your attention.
He would do so. He would give him a little bop on the head and nature's tongue.
Remind me how you picture Angel's voice again.
His voice is like deep, but like also like soft and like very calm. Like he just has the voice of like a gentle giant.
Okay. You'll have to excuse me, Master. Why do you continue to argue with your brother when he is very much troubled?
Because like always, he refuses any sort of help. Or
And you... Sorry, go on.
any sort of anything to lighten the burden in any way. He'll always refuse. It's always got to be him that carries that on his own.
And yet you did not refuse him. You just let him go about it. I'm just trying to understand.
Won't listen. What would you have me do? Duel him right then and there?
If it comes to blows with your brother to make him see reason, then perhaps that is an action of you should take. But you did not even come to let him see reason. You just let him accept his own fate and didn't even argue. That is why I'm confused.
Unlike the animal kingdom, we people aren't complicated like that.
Leonin, if I may. You rescued me a very long time ago, and I will forever be in your debt for that. Until my dying days, I will always be at your side. As a kin of sorts. But as a mere observer to one who is not just your kin, but your twin, from what you have told me, it feels just a bit remiss that you would not fight harder for him. And he goes silent.
He's like, gives him like a sad smile. Maybe you're right. There is something more I can do, but there are a few things he's correct about. I'm not sure I ever had the same strength of will he has. I was born second, after all. I can barely remember time as kids, but to him, it might as well have just been yesterday. At least that's how I understand it.
If our places were switched... No, I'm kidding. He will tilt his head at you. Perhaps this is a thing amongst this family, this house that you call Silverbrook. Perhaps it is just the nature of you Silverbrooks. But if I have seen anything, you are also strong of will, and you give yourself very little credit. He was right about many things, but he was also wrong about many other things. I can see it plain as day, and I do not associate with the creatures that you do. He is in pain. I could smell it.
I know something about that, I can tell you that much.
I do not know much about what this is he is going through. But he is not being completely truthful with you either.
Just like him. Fortunately.
Just be wary, my friend. I would not want you to lose your true kin over a petty squabble.
Neither my good friend, me neither.
And he proceeds to hop up on the bed and put his big ass head in your lap.
Oh, sweet baby. Getting a little pet as the day winds down. The sweet baby.
Beast speech eventually does end. As you all get a little bit of a long rest. So, with your preparations for the day, as we are most likely not going to continue on with what's going to happen, as there is a hard cutoff time for Voodoo. Just as a very quick thing, go one by one on what you guys are doing for your long rest in terms of your things. So, starting with Leonin, what are you doing?
Have a whole lot to do since I have full basically everything. So I'll mostly
Okay.
just get ready to face the morning.
You can also work on a project if you so choose.
Yeah.
All right. Mercon, what are you doing?
So, Mercon first, as you know, he gets ready for the day. He will prepare.
Okay. So
Give
get a
himself
hope
that
back.
Mm-hmm. And then there was that project we were working on before. I don't know if you remember.
Remind me.
This Mercon kind of practicing his skill and finesse. He's more so trying to work on his ability to like manipulate like locks, manipulate like tools, trying to work on more of a dexterous hand kind of deal.
To basically try and increase your finesse a little bit.
Yeah, more so like trying to like build an experience, I would say, just for like tinkering and things like that.
Okay, sure. In this case, go ahead and make a finesse check for me. It will not generate a hope or a fear. This is to see if you will proceed for this to gain this experience outside of leveling up.
Yes.
You will require 5 successful checks. Does that sound fair to you?
Yes, okay. On top of that, I did notice when I was doing the long rest, I can select it multiple times. Can I try it twice? Because I have 3 long rests with my high stamina feat.
Yeah, your 3 activities.
Celestial. Yeah, this one.
I got you.
Celestial chance.
Yeah, sure. I will allow that since you don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, okay.
That is a failure.
I would be sure of that.
That is a partial success.
Okay.
So that'll be like a 0.5 on the scale. So you start without proper training and kind of doing it yourself. Explain to me exactly what you are trying to do to work on your finesse with what kind of skill you're trying to create.
Mercon is more so, he would have spent the time kind of practicing his lock picking.
Okay.
First and foremost, he wants to make sure that he can break himself out of any lock in case he gets himself kind of stuck. So more so like not locking himself in it, but like putting himself in like awkward positions with his arms. Although he'll probably have better luck with at least getting his hands on the tools first.
Okay. That will be the first failure, is that the probably from the stress of the previous conversations, that these you get like you have your tools with you, but as you try to fumble with it, you just get frustrated, take a bit of some time to calm down before you focus back on, and then you proceed to practice lockpicking, and this one will be that partial success.
Cool.
You do see that you get the pins in place, and just as you reach that last pin, you do hear it click. But you do see that the lock you're working on is still not completely unlocked. So if you want to, are you continuing to work on a project 3 times, or is that the hope? Because I do believe you did use to get your hope to prepare.
I do want to give him the hope.
Yeah. Okay. So that means that will be your 2 tries then.
Yes, just the 2 tries.
Very well. That will be your long rest. Akuji, are you doing anything? Or what are you doing in particular to prepare for the day?
No, she's not doing anything. She'll probably just be downstairs after she got her stuff already and getting food for her morning food.
Okay. Very well. So you are basically full on everything then, essentially?
Yeah, I'm full on everything, yep.
All right, very well. And finally, Raylig. What are you doing for your long rest?
He's basically filling everything except for hope, so he'll do one prepare.
Okay.
And I feel like to prepare, he would click on the button. Isn't it just one? It is just one. Okay.
There you go.
Whatever.
Indeed it is.
I feel like to prepare, because, I mean, he went to Bard College for like words, like writing, spoken word. So
Yes.
he would, still feeling a bit down after the conversation with Marqui last night, would start writing, what's the word? Like a bit of the start of an epic of like their early adventures. Just
Okay.
kind of, a little Shakespearean kind of deal, a little flowery. But he's starting from the beginning, so it's gonna be a work in progress, but he's just doing that to pass the time and kind of like wallow a bit and be like, yeah, we're friends, right? Right?
So
And that's how he prepares.
Would you consider that also a work on a project as well?
It could be. I was like trying to think about how that would work, because I feel like it would be like a bit of a continuous thing where it's like, oh, they have more adventures, assuming they don't TPK or the group breaks up. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So,
But it would be something that he would periodically work on, probably.
Of course, and this would be much more of a long-term project.
Yeah.
But do keep in mind that this could be various things. So, like the first chapter, the first arc, the Bright Willow Saga, if you will. However, Raylig would want to embody this current piece that he's working on. This would be finished up probably by the time, at least this first part, when you're done in Bright Willow Haven. So depending on how many more times you do spend here, or how much more time you spend here, and then moving on, it might take maybe like roughly a couple days to finish. And this could give you potential bonus rolls on your presence check for just having it in your inventory, and I can essentially make it a pseudo magic item, as it would, because you're a wordsmith bard, your words transfer to magic, so it would fit in this regard.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you want to do, we can get that started as well.
Sure.
All right, so that'll be the work on the project option. Very good, very good. All right, finally, Marqui, I'm going to need you to make your daily check for me, please.
Oh, the fun one.
Yes, the fun one. Smiles.
I can't wait.
I think that just meets it too. 1 second.
Oh!
Let me double check here. Each combat encounter roll strength reaction roll and a partial failure. Yes, as it is in stage 1, the DC is relatively low, and you also rolled with hope on this reaction roll. So you are back to full HP and stress, as you do not have a coughing fit waking up.
That does not bode well in my favor. I feel like I'm gonna need that at some point. The fact that I made it this time is supposed to be like her somewhat big moment.
Smiles. Yes, it is a big moment, as a matter of fact. Congrats, guys, because you actually finished the second part of the Bright Willow arc. You're all level 3.
Oh,
Hot dog.
oh shit,
Hell yeah.
yo.
So I will add these to your thing if you have not written them down already. But yeah, so you get a level up. So go ahead and level on up. But aside from that, with you guys doing your level ups, and preparing for the day, whatever they may take on, that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. As the next time we will go ahead and get going on the plan of seeing what's ahead for either you guys investigating the demonic coven or getting into more business with the Shadowbark. So yeah, thanks for playing. Did you guys have a little bit of fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
depression.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm glad you guys were able to get that RP. It was very necessary. So, are you guys going to be good for next Monday?
I should be.
As far as I
Yes.
know, yes.
Thorn, Statica?
Yes,
Yeah,
I should be.
Okay,
I think so.
excellent. Very good. All right, well, in that case, we will see you guys next Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night.
Good.
Bye,
night.
friends.
Bye bye.